Good morning, everyone. Good morning. 8:41 a.m. Central European Time. I'm your host, holyjoe Rock and Roll. This is live and unscripted and in the news. Today, this morning, I'd like to discuss with you what I saw, some comments and commentary on the 2018 State of the Union address delivered by President Donald J. Trump. Now, the speech was about an hour and a half long, covered a lot of topics. The main themes were America first and making America great again, as you would expect. Some things of note were that the Democrats, by and large, refused to participate in the speech, even though they were physically there. They very rarely, if ever, clapped. They didn't even clap to celebrate the great economic news, such as lowest unemployment rate for African Americans and women and Hispanics, and record stock market, and record job growth in just 1 year of a President Trump administration. They refused to clap for the most part. Sat there with their iPhones out. There is the meme going around. It's actual real video of Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi actually playing with her dentures with her mouth sort of closed. She obviously loosened up a denture, moved it around in her mouth, and put it back in. Pretty disgusting shit. Schumer looked bored. He looked like the Crypt Keeper / the Goblin from Spider-Man fame, as usual. And what else? The Congressional Black Caucus, which there should not be a Congressional Black Caucus. Either you're a representative of the American people in your district or get the fuck out. Okay, excuse my language. But those guys all sat there with their Kenyan colored sashes and scarves. Again, not participating, not listening to the speech that the president gave. The only contention that I have, and this is really where the analysis has to come in, is regarding DACA. Regarding DACA, and that is President Trump has been really generous. I mean, I would say overly generous in his approach to resolving DACA, or the Deferred Admissions for Childhood Admissions. No, Deferred Action on Childhood Admissions. That's it, DACA. Basically, it's supposed to, it does give temporary legal status and even work permission to those illegal aliens who were supposedly brought to the United States by their parents when they were children. Okay? So that's what that's all about. And President Trump has offered to legalize and put them on a pathway to citizenship some 1.8 million illegals versus the 800,000 or so that President Obama illegally gave them this DACA status. Okay? So here's what's going to play out. Here's what's playing out. Even this offer, and President Trump laid out 4 pillars that he said needed to be involved in this deal. Number 1 would be to allow a 12-year pathway to citizenship for these illegal alien kids. Well, they supposedly came as children, but they're all adults now, for the most part. To allow them to have a pathway to citizenship. Okay? Also, that's one of the 4 pillars. The second one is border security, build the wall. The third is end of chain migration, and the fourth is the end of the visa lottery. So those are the 4 pieces. Now, when taken all together, it sounds pretty good. Okay? I mean, except for the pathway to citizenship for illegals, right? I'm totally against DACA. In fact, I say hashtag no DACA as much as possible. And in fact, the American people are vigorously opposed to any kind of legalization or amnesty for these DACA people. Now, I do not mind them getting a continued, either a 1 or a 2 year sort of legalized status, that they could stay in the country and that they could work. But that's it. That's all they should get. And that's what I think is going to happen. Here's what's my analysis. Look, this whole DACA thing is very unpopular with the American people. The Democrats, obviously, if they really truly believed, if they really truly wanted to help these so-called immigrants, they would have signed up for this deal, because this is a great deal for them. Okay? This is a great deal for them. The fact that they refuse to acknowledge it or embrace it shows you that the Democrats really truly are not even, they don't even care about these DACA recipients. They're using them as political leverage in this battle for power. Okay? And that's number one thing you have to notice, is that that's number one. So you're not going to get the Democrats to cooperate because they are refusing to build the wall. Again, they want to have open borders. They want to flood this country, flood the United States with illegal aliens, give them all citizenship so that they'll vote for the left. It's all about power. Please, can you stop doing that? Just take what you need and then bust out, okay? Please. No, come on! You're going to scratch the floor. Take it out of here. Go. Get it out of here. Don't bring it back. It doesn't belong here. Thank you.
Where did you take this?
That's what happens when you're doing a live broadcast. Live, baby. Unscripted. There's no tripwire. But there is a tripwire. There's no hammock. Not a hammock. What do you call it? The wire, the basket that catches you if you fall. Not the tripwire. What do they call it? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It's used as a metaphor for welfare as well. That there should be a safety net. There's no safety net here, people. No safety net. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Democrats are not going to be in favor of this deal because they do not want the wall. Okay? Republicans, if they have any common sense, which I know most of them do, well, I can't say most of them. Yeah, I'll say most of them. They know that their constituents are against any kind of DACA deal. So they're not going to go for the deal. So what's going to happen is there's not going to be any deal, and the only thing that Trump can do, I would say, the only thing he can do is offer, like I said, a continuation of a DACA-like program or a guest worker program. I think that's all he can do. If he continues DACA, which he knows is unconstitutional because the executive branch cannot write law. And the whole DACA program that Barack Hussein Obama created is creating law. The immigration law has already been written. It's already been approved by Congress. And that is what the executive branch needs to enforce. So enforce the law is what the president is supposed to be doing, not creating law. So I think by default what's going to happen is this DACA deal is not going to happen. I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen because, number one, the Democrats are opposed to building the wall. They're opposed to ending chain migration. They're opposed to ending the visa lottery, which tells you, people, wake up. It tells you that the Democrats are not only not pro-immigrant, they're anti-American. They're not only anti-Trump, they're anti-American. Do you see that? They're anti-American. So what's going to be happening is this is going to be pushed to the 2018 midterms, where I'm pretty sure that if the Republicans hold the line and do not do this DACA deal and use that as leverage, that look, we tried to make a deal, they're refusing to make the deal. If we get more Republicans in the House and the Senate, which I think, typically the midterms go against the party in power. But I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think that Republicans or people on the right will be more motivated to get out there and vote because things are looking good for them. I would like to believe that things are looking pretty negative for the Democrats, and they're actually pretty dispirited because they continue to lose. So I'm predicting that there would be a slight increase in Republican majorities in both the House and the Senate, allowing for then a new DACA vote, which will be watered down, which will basically be temporary legalization of the stay of these people with no pathway to citizenship. Trump will get his wall. Trump will get an end to the lottery, the visa lottery, and Trump will get an end to chain migration. So Trump is going to win on all of the things that he wants, and the Democrats are not going to get any kind of DACA or amnesty for these illegals that came to the country illegally. It's just not going to happen. It's just not palatable. We don't want it. In fact, the majority of Americans, an overwhelming majority of Americans, would actually prefer that we stop all immigration for at least a few years. Just stop all immigration. Definitely end the H-1B visa. Hire Americans. Put Americans to work. Okay? There's plenty of people that can go to work with a little bit of training. There's plenty of people that are on disability that can be brought back. They're not really disabled. And there's plenty of people who can work in the United States that are not working. And that's what has to happen first. So that's my analysis. It was a great speech. It was a great speech. You should watch it if you have a chance. Watch the 2018 State of the Union address by President Donald J. Trump. This is the end of his first year State of the Union. And tell me what your thoughts are. If you already saw the speech, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me that I believe is what's going to happen? That there is not going to be a DACA deal. And as a result, 2018 midterms, which are coming up this November, 2018, it's going to tilt both House and the Senate a little bit more Republican. And at that point, Trump will be able to get some kind of a DACA law, but it will be watered down. It basically will be something like a program for renewable 1 or 2 year temporary stay visas with the right to work. And something like that. That's what I think is that's what's going to be available to all of you who are in the country illegally and that are on a DACA program. Just remember, you have absolutely no right to be in the country. You have absolutely no legal status for citizenship. Just be happy that you have temporary ability to be in the country. Okay? And that's it. Go back home if you want and apply to come to the United States legally, and then we can talk. Alright? This is Holy Joe Rock and Roll. This has been my reaction, my commentary on the 2018 State of the Union address by Donald J. Trump, reminding you to always make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain.